The war did not begin with fire or explosions. It began with fear. The Galactic Council had watched humanity for many years. Humans were new, loud, and fast. They spread quickly across space, learned faster than expected, and survived conditions that killed other species. Many council members felt uneasy, but none acted until the incident on Karin Station. A human trade ship was attacked by pirates near the Outer Rim. The pirates expected easy prey. Instead, the humans fought back with raw courage and brutal efficiency. By the time council forces arrived, the station was half destroyed and every pirate ship was gone. The humans survived. That day, fear turned into anger. The council declared humans unstable and dangerous. They claimed humans could not be controlled, only contained. A vote was held in silence. The result was exile, not execution, not war, exile. Small human colonies were rounded up, some ships escaped, some fought, many were taken. Among them was a child named Eli. Eli was only 7 years old. He did not understand politics or fear councils. He only knew that his parents were gone and that cold metal hands pulled him away. He cried once. After that, he stayed quiet. The council chose an example, a Deathworld. The planet had no name, only a code, extreme gravity. Toxic storms, predators larger than buildings, no known intelligent life. No species had survived there longer than a day. Eli was placed inside a drop pod. No weapons, no tools, just thin clothes and a small blanket. "This is mercy," one counselor said. The pod fell through fire and smoke. When it hit the ground, Eli did not scream. The world was red and black. The air burned his lungs, trees twisted like claws, the ground shook with distant movement. He felt very small. Night came fast, something roared in the distance. It was deep, slow, and powerful. Eli hid between rocks, shaking. He remembered his mother's voice telling him not to cry loud when afraid, so he stayed silent. Hours passed, the cold came next. His body hurt, his stomach burned. He thought he would die before morning, but morning came. The sky turned dark orange, ash fell like snow. Eli stood and walked because staying still felt worse. His feet bled, his lips cracked. Still he walked. That was when the ground trembled, something massive moved through the forest, trees snapped. The air vibrated. Eli froze. It emerged slowly. The beast was larger than anything he had imagined. Thick armored skin, many glowing eyes, claws that could tear metal, it breathed like a storm. This was the planet's apex predator. Every instinct screamed at Eli to run. He did not. The beast lowered its head. Its eyes studied him. It could kill him in a heartbeat. Eli fell to his knees. He did not beg. He did not scream. He was too tired. The beast leaned closer. Hot breath washed over him. Eli closed his eyes. Nothing happened. Minutes passed. The beast stepped back. It turned away. Eli collapsed. Days passed. Then weeks. Eli learned the world slowly, where water gathered after storms, which plants burned the skin and which did not. He watched predators fight each other. He learned to hide. Sometimes he saw the beast watching from far away. It never attacked him. One night, smaller predators found Eli's shelter. Sharp, fast, hungry, Eli had nowhere to run. The beast arrived like thunder. It crushed the attackers with terrifying speed. Blood stained the ground. The creature stood between Eli and the darkness. That night, Eli slept beside it, not touching, just close. From then on, the bond grew. Eli talked sometimes. Simple words, stories he remembered. The beast listened. It never harmed him. It chased threats away. It brought him food. The planet watched. Months passed. Eli grew stronger, faster, smarter. He learned the rhythm of storms and beasts. The Deathworld did not break him. It shaped him. Far above, the Galactic Council monitored the planet. Sensors detected movement, large-scale destruction, changes in predator behavior. Something was wrong. A counselor frowned at the screen. "The apex predator is no longer territorial," she said. "It is guarding a single location." They zoomed in. A small human figure stood beside the monster. Alive, the room fell silent. "He should be dead," one voice whispered. But Eli was not dead. He was adapting, and the deadliest world in the galaxy had accepted him. The council did not believe what they were seeing. Sensors confirmed it again and again. A human child was alive on the Deathworld, not hiding. Not running, living. The apex predator followed him like a shadow. It guarded him, protected him. Fear spread through the chamber. "That creature kills everything," one council member said. "It should have killed the child on the first day." "But it didn't," another replied. "And now the entire predator balance of the planet is changing." They watched recordings. Smaller beasts avoided the area where the child walked. Storm patterns shifted. The planet itself seemed to bend around him. The human is influencing the ecosystem, the chairperson said quietly. Impossible, someone argued. Humans are impossible, the chairperson replied. They voted again, observation only. No rescue, no interference. Meanwhile, on the surface, Eli did not know he was being watched. He woke each day with the sound of the beast breathing nearby. He had named it without thinking. He called it Stone. Its skin was hard like rock, and it never moved unless needed. Eli learned to read Stone's behavior. When Stone's eyes glowed brighter, danger was near. When it lowered its body, Eli climbed onto its back to escape floods or predators. The Deathworld tried many times to kill him. Poison rain burned his skin. Stone covered him with its body. Earthquakes split the ground. Stone pulled him to safety. Flying hunters attacked from above. Stone crushed them midair. Eli grew faster. Stronger, smarter. He learned how to make tools from bone and stone, sharp edges, simple traps. He learned where storms would hit by watching the sky color. He stopped crying in his sleep. He stopped thinking like a child. One day something new appeared. A ship entered the atmosphere, not a council ship. Smaller, armed, pirates. They scanned the planet, surprised to detect life. Their sensors locked onto movement, a human signal. A kid, one pirate laughed. Free prize. They landed hard, weapons ready. Eli felt it before he saw it. The ground vibrated differently. Stone growled low and warning. Strangers came through the forest. Tall, armored, alien shapes. Weapons pointed everywhere. Eli hid behind Stone. The pirates saw the beast and froze. That thing's worth a fortune, their leader whispered. And the human too. They opened fire. The shots bounced off Stone's armor like sparks. Stone roared and charged. The fight was short, violent, final. Trees fell, metal crushed. Screams ended quickly. One pirate tried to run. Eli picked up a sharp bone without thinking and threw it. It struck the alien's leg, not lethal, but enough. Stone finished it. Eli stared at his shaking hands. He had attacked first. That night, Eli did not sleep. Something had changed inside him. Far above, the council watched the encounter in horror. The child used a weapon, a counselor said. He acted without fear. He is no longer just surviving, another replied. He is defending territory. A new fear grew. If one human child could do this, what about more? The council argued. Some wanted immediate removal. Others feared approaching the planet now that the beast was bonded. In the end, they sent a probe, a small drone, silent, invisible. It flew close. Stone noticed instantly. It roared and leapt. The drone exploded in the air. Eli looked up at the sky. He felt anger. He did not know why. They're watching, he said softly. Stone lowered its head. The planet shook again. Deep beneath the surface, something ancient stirred. The Deathworld was not empty. It had always been waiting. Eli felt it in his bones. That night the storms grew worse. Lightning split the sky. New creatures rose from the ground, drawn by the change. Stone stood ready, but even it seemed uneasy. Eli placed his hand on Stone's armored face. It's okay, he said. The beast did not understand the words, but it understood the voice. Together they faced the storm. Far away, the council received a final report. Energy spikes. Planetary instability, unknown signals. The Deathworld is responding to the human, the chairperson said. Or the human is becoming part of it, someone whispered. No one slept that night, because they all realized the same truth. They had not exiled a child. They had created something new, and the galaxy was not ready. The storms did not stop. For 3 days and 3 nights, the sky burned. Lightning struck the ground again and again, carving deep scars into the land. The air screamed with wind. Even the strongest predators hid or fled. But Eli stayed. Stone stood like a wall in front of him, its body blocking the worst of the storm. Rain hit its armor and turned to steam. Eli pressed close, feeling the steady rise and fall of the beast's chest. Something beneath the planet was waking up. Eli could feel it, not with his ears or eyes, but inside his mind. A deep pull like the world itself was calling to him. When the storm finally faded, the land was different. New cracks covered the ground. Strange, glowing lines spread like veins across the soil. The forest was quieter but not peaceful. It felt alert, watching. Stone sniffed the air and growled, not in anger, in warning. They were not alone anymore. From the shadows, creatures emerged that Eli had never seen before, taller, smarter. Their eyes glowed with the same light as the planet's veins. They did not attack. They observed. Stone stepped forward, placing itself between Eli and them. The creatures stopped. They bowed. Eli's breath caught. The apex predator of the Deathworld bowed back. Far above, alarms filled the council chamber. Energy readings spiked beyond known limits. The planet's core activity changed. life patterns reorganized. "This is no longer a standard Deathworld," a council scientist said. "It is becoming something else." "What is the child doing?" another demanded. "He's not doing anything," the scientist replied. "He's being accepted." Fear turned into panic. "This cannot be allowed," a counselor shouted. "If humans can bond with worlds like this, we lose control," the chairperson finished. They made a choice, a retrieval force, not to rescue, to eliminate. The fleet launched within hours. On the planet, Eli felt the sky change again. Not storms this time, something colder, sharper. Stone looked up and roared. Eli followed its gaze. Fire streaked across the sky, ships, many of them. Eli's heart pounded. He remembered metal walls, cold hands, his parents. "They came back," he whispered. Stone pressed its head against him, steady and calm. The fleet landed in force. Soldiers poured out in heavy armor, energy weapons ready. Machines followed, walkers, drones, enough firepower to wipe out cities. Their orders were clear: neutralize the anomaly. They saw Eli, a small human boy standing beside a monster. "Target acquired," the commander said. They fired. Stone charged. The ground shook as the beast tore through the first line of soldiers. Energy blasts struck its armor, cracking plates, burning flesh. Stone roared in pain but did not stop. Eli ran, not away, forward. He grabbed a fallen weapon, its weight heavy in his hands. He did not know how to use it. He pulled the trigger anyway. The blast struck a drone, sending it crashing into the ground. Eli felt something click inside him. This world had taught him how to survive. Now it was teaching him how to fight. The battle spread across the forest. Creatures of the Deathworld joined in. Predators attacked soldiers. The glowing beings rose from the ground, striking machines with energy drawn from the planet itself. The Deathworld was defending its own. At the center stood Eli. He shouted. He pointed. He moved without fear. Stone stayed close, shielding him from the worst of the fire. Then the commander saw him clearly. "A child," the commander muttered. "This is what we feared." He raised his weapon and aimed at Eli. Stone moved too slowly. The shot fired. Time seemed to slow. The energy bolt stopped inches from Eli's chest. It hung in the air, shaking. The ground glowed brighter. Eli's eyes widened. The bolt shattered like glass. Silence fell. The soldiers froze. The machines powered down. The forest held its breath. Eli did not understand what he had done, but the planet did. A deep sound rolled across the land like a heartbeat. The glowing veins pulsed in rhythm with Eli's breathing. The commander dropped his weapon. "This is not a human anymore," he whispered. Stone lowered its head to Eli. The glowing creatures bowed again, lower this time. Eli felt tired, so tired. He sat on the ground. Stone curled around him. Above them, the fleet's sensors went dark. One by one, ships lost power. The council watched in horror as their screens went blank. "The planet is rejecting us," a counselor said. "No," the scientist replied softly. "It's choosing him." The fleet retreated in chaos. They left behind broken machines, fallen soldiers, and a truth that could not be erased. Eli slept for 2 days. When he woke, the world was quiet again. Stone was injured but alive. Eli tended the wounds as best he could. The glowing creatures brought strange plants that healed faster than anything Eli had seen. He was no longer just surviving. He was becoming something the galaxy had never seen. And far away, the council began preparing for what came next. Because they knew one thing now. If the human child ever left that planet, nothing would be able to stop him. The galaxy did not forget the Deathworld. After the failed attack, silence spread among the stars. Trade routes near the sector were closed. Ships avoided the region. Even pirates refused to go near it. The council called it a quarantine. In truth, it was fear. Inside the council chamber, reports kept arriving. Long-range scans showed massive changes. The Deathworld's storms were calmer now. Predator populations were balanced. Energy readings followed a stable rhythm, all centered around one point. Eli, years passed. The child became a boy. Then something more. Eli grew taller, leaner, harder. His skin carried scars from storms and battles. His eyes no longer showed fear, only focus. He spoke less, listened more. The planet spoke to him in its own way. He learned new things without being taught. How to feel danger before it came. How to calm beasts with a touch. How to stand still and let the world move around him. Stone aged, but it never weakened. Its bond with Eli grew deeper. They hunted together, traveled together, protected the land together. They were not master and beast. They were partners. One day, the glowing beings returned. They surrounded Eli in a wide circle. Stone stayed alert but did not attack. Eli felt no danger from them. A deep sound filled the air, not spoken but felt. Images entered Eli's mind. The planet was alive. It had always been alive. The Deathworld was not cursed. It was wounded long ago by ancient wars. It had become hostile to protect itself. Only those who adapted could survive. Eli had not fought the planet. He had listened. The glowing beings showed him memories of stars burning, worlds breaking, and empires falling because they tried to control what they did not understand. Eli opened his eyes. "I won't control you," he said quietly. "I'll protect you." The planet answered. Far away, a human signal reached the council for the first time in years. Not a message, a broadcast. Human colonies received it too. A simple image appeared on screens across space. A human standing on a hostile world. Beside him stood a monster the size of a building. The signal carried no threat, only words. "I am alive." The galaxy froze. Humans felt something rise inside them. Pride, relief, anger. The council panicked. "This is proof," a counselor shouted. "Humans cannot be erased." "They were never meant to be," another replied. Some council members began secret talks. Not about destruction, about negotiation. Back on the Deathworld, new ships appeared in orbit, smaller, unarmed, human ships. They did not land, they waited. Eli looked at the sky. He felt torn. This planet was his home. But he was still human. Stone sensed the conflict and pressed its head against him. "I won't leave," Eli said. "Not yet." But the galaxy would not wait forever. One night something changed again, a signal from deep space, not council. Not human, unknown. The stars above the Deathworld flickered. The glowing beings reacted with fear for the first time. Stone roared louder than ever. Eli felt a cold presence touch the edge of his mind. Something old, something powerful. Something watching. Far beyond the council's reach, another force had noticed the Deathworld, and the human who ruled it. Eli looked up at the dark sky. "For once," he said softly, "let them be afraid." The planet answered with a low, steady pulse. The calm before something far worse. The unknown force did not come with warning. One moment the stars were silent. The next, space itself seemed to bend. Across the galaxy, sensors failed. Long-range communication broke. Ancient defense systems activated on worlds that had not seen war in centuries. Something old had returned. The Council learned its name from forbidden records, the Voidborn. A species older than most civilizations. They did not conquer worlds. They consumed them. They stripped planets of energy, life, and memory, leaving only empty shells behind. They had vanished long ago, until now. The first world fell within hours. No warning, no survivors, just silence where a living system once existed. The Voidborn ships did not look like ships. They were massive shapes of darkness, surrounded by twisting energy. Weapons were not fired. Reality was torn apart. The Council panicked. Emergency meetings were called. Fleets were mobilized. Nothing worked. Then the Voidborn changed direction. They turned toward the Deathworld, toward Eli. On the planet, the ground trembled with fear. Not storms, not predators, fear. The glowing beings gathered around Eli, their light flickering. Stone stood close, tense, ready. "They are coming," Eli said. He did not ask how he knew, he simply knew. The planet showed him images. Worlds drained dry, beasts screaming, civilizations erased. Eli clenched his fists. "They won't take this world," he said. Stone roared in agreement. Human ships arrived first, then council ships. Then species that once feared humans. They formed a broken alliance around the Deathworld. Desperation made enemies into allies. The Voidborn arrived. The sky darkened. Stars vanished behind massive shadows. The air grew heavy, hard to breathe. Weapons fired, they did nothing. Voidborn energy tore through fleets like paper. Ships exploded. Fleets collapsed. Eli watched from the surface. He felt the planet's pain. "This ends now," he said. The glowing beings surrounded him. The ground beneath his feet lit up. Energy flowed into him, not violent but steady. Stone lowered itself beside him. Eli placed his hand on Stone's head. "Stay with me," he whispered. The planet answered. A pulse spread outward. The Deathworld's energy shielded itself. Voidborn attacks slowed. Eli stepped forward, not as a child, not even as a man, as a bridge between human and world. The Voidborn noticed. A voice entered Eli's mind. Cold, empty. "You do not belong." Eli answered without words. "Neither do you." The planet struck back. Energy surged upward, wrapping around Eli and Stone. Together they rose into the sky, surrounded by light and shadow. The galaxy watched. A human and a monster facing an ancient horror. The Voidborn attacked directly. Eli reached out. He did not destroy, he connected. He showed them what they had forgotten. Life, pain, choice, resistance. The Voidborn screamed. For the first time in their existence, they felt fear. They began to retreat, but not fully. This was not the end. Eli returned to the surface, exhausted. The planet stabilized. The fleets pulled back, damaged but alive. The council watched in silence. A human had done what none of them could. Eli looked at the sky, knowing the truth. The Voidborn would return, and next time. He would not be defending only one world. The galaxy waited. After the first clash, the Voidborn did not attack again. Weeks passed, then months. The stars remained quiet, but no one believed the danger was gone. Eli knew the truth. The Voidborn were watching, learning. On the Deathworld, Eli changed his way of life. He no longer stayed hidden. He walked openly across the land, feeling the pulse of the planet beneath his feet. The glowing beings followed him, no longer distant guardians but partners. Stone remained at his side, slower now but wiser. Its eyes held calm strength, not rage. One night, Eli stood on a high ridge and looked at the sky. Human and alien ships floated far above, keeping their distance. "They're afraid of you," Eli said to the planet. The planet answered with a warm pulse. "They should be," Eli said softly, "but they don't have to be." He made a choice. Using the planet's energy, Eli sent a signal across the galaxy, not a threat. Not a command, an invitation. He spoke in simple words that every species could understand. "I was exiled here to die. This world did not kill me. It taught me I will not rule you. I will stand with you. But I will not let the Voidborn take what we protect." The message reached every corner of known space.